Today, inshallah ta'ala, or tonight, we'll be talking still about success, but this is a different type of success. First of all, how many of you here are married? Those who are married. Married. Those who are not married? Okay, it's about the same. Those who are happy? All right. Married, not married, happy. Like, the success that we're going to talk about tonight is how to have a successful marriage. The ingredients of a successful marriage. I like the definition of Shaykh Riad Ouarzazi when he says, when he asks the question, is marriage a word, a sentence, or a life sentence? But first, inshallah ta'ala, before I talk about marriage and before I talk about the success or the ingredients of a successful marriage, I want to talk or set the stage and talk about some differences. I'm going to pick on you, just to let you know. Those who know me, they know me very well, that I pick on people, so they sit in here. So I'm going to ask you questions. But I'm going to, first of all, talk about the differences or the psychological differences between men and women, just so that we can understand why sometimes your wife acts so weird, or sometimes your husband acts like you want to punch him in the face, because there's these differences, psychological differences, and I wish I had known these differences before I got married. I read a book, and I mentioned this many times to some of my students. In fact, this book almost changed my life a little bit. Why men don't listen, and why women cannot read maps. It's an amazing book. It doesn't really talk about why women cannot read maps, but it talks about the psychological differences between men and women. When a woman, when your wife says fine, does she mean fine? When she says, when you say, I'm going with my buddies, I'm going out with my friends, and she says, fine, is that really fine? Yes or no? Or no or yes or? No, she's not really fine with it. This is how it goes. You see, our head here is made of a bunch of, like the brain is made of boxes. Just imagine with me. Your brain is made up of boxes, different boxes. So we have a box that talks about, let's say, money box. Husband box, wife box, kids box, school, business, so different boxes. And this is the thing, man's brain and women's brain. A man's brain, you see these boxes, and sisters, please understand this. You'll be so happy if you really understand this. In fact, we know you'll be happy, so you know why your husband is sometimes acting weird, is because these boxes, sisters, are not interconnected. Men's boxes, brains, are not interconnected, because if I want to talk about money, I pull the box that talks about money, I talk about money, and then I put it back. I cannot talk about money and kids at the same time. I don't do that. I can't. As a man, we don't do that. You see? Women, mashallah, tabarakallah, for women, the boxes, their brains are all like, it's just all happening. She can, mashallah, tabarakallah, cook, and she listens to you we're talking on the phone at the same time, and she's watching TV, and she's watching, looking after the kids, and multitasking. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them. They can do so many things at the same time, whereas men, they don't. But here's the beauty, here's the gold. The gold is this. Sisters, you better know this. There is a very special box in every man's brain. Every man's got this very, very beloved box. This box is called the empty box. It is the most favorable box in every man. Why? You see, is this because sometimes we men like to be so blank, like we like to go and, like sometimes we're flipping, doing tasbih with remote control, right? Flipping channels. And then we're just doing and then she's talking to you, and then you just, Your husband is in his empty box. Leave him alone. He's enjoying himself. Sometimes you see two men going fishing. I don't see women going fishing. Men going fishing. They may go fishing for 2, 3, 4 hours without speaking a word. Have you noticed? Have you seen that before? They're together. It's not that because if a woman was to see that, she might say, these guys are having problems. They're fighting. There's a problem. No, they're loving it. They throw the net and they are into their empty box. They are loving it. Leave them alone. There's a sister who, in fact, she waits until her husband, because she, when he gets her, drives her bananas, she waits until he's like shaving. I'm not saying go shave. And then she goes to talk to him. And then he cuts himself. Because he cannot shave and talk to her at the same time and listen to her. He cannot do too many things at the same time. He has to concentrate on what he does. Women, they tend to mature a lot faster than men, don't they? MashaAllah, tabarakallah, you see a 16-year-old girl, Allahu Akbar, she's acting like a princess. The way she talks, the way she walks, isn't it? Right? And you see a 16-year-old boy doing something like this, man. Playing Xbox. Isn't it? I mean, maturity. And this is a fact. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. We're different. We're not like men are better than women or women are better than men. We're just different. We're just different. And we need to understand this. This is why they say men from Mars and women from Venus. Kind of thing. We're just different in many ways. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, in Surah Al-Rum, ayah number 21. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة ومن آياته, Allah says, amongst His signs, amongst His ayat, in Arabic, ayat, signs, and amongst His signs is that He had created amongst you mates, your spouses, your wives, mates. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ is that He had created amongst you mates so that you may dwell in tranquility. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً, and then He has put love and mercy between you. Between you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ayah. In the Quran, ayah. Do you have a Quran? Do you have a book? Do you have a Quran? Give me a Quran. Give me that Quran. Mushaf? It's just English. It's Quran still. Right? You see, this is Quran. You said in English. Can I throw it? Can I? Can I just throw it? Can I step on it? Can I just go there and sit on it? No, I cannot do it. Why? Because it's Quran. It has ayat min ayatillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says your wife, your spouses are ayat min ayatillah. The way you respect the Quran, this is the way you should respect your spouse, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا, is that He had created amongst you your mates, your spouses, so that you may dwell in tranquility. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً, and He has put amongst you love and mercy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses different names in the Quran to describe the spouses. Beautiful names in the Quran. Sometimes He uses ayat. Sometimes He uses antum libasun lahum, libas, garments. They are garments unto you. Hunna libasun lakum wa antum libasun lahun. They are garments unto you. Libas. What is this libas that you're wearing today? What do you wear? What do you wear clothes? What do you put clothes on? To cover your awrah, to protect your awrah. Anything else? To embellish yourself. Likewise, we are, husbands and wives, are garments unto one another. They protect the awrah of one another. They protect the privacy of one another. And then they embellish one another. This is why Allah Azza wa Jalla uses this beautiful term, libas, garment. He says, Nisa'ukum harthu lakum. Here's another beautiful name. Harth. Nisa'ukum harthu lakum fa'atu harthakum anna shi'tum. They are a tilt onto you. Harth. The harth, like the farmer when he goes and he, in the field and he works in the field. Nisa'. Allah says your women are harth onto you, just like a tilt onto you. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam says in hadith reported by Sahih Muslim, those who are not married, I really feel so sorry for you, because this is a beautiful hadith. In fact, maybe by the time we're done, you're going to go and hook yourself up. Or we can hook you up too. Listen to what the Prophet Muhammad says. This is Sahih Muslim. وَفِي بُضْعِ أَحَدِكُمْ حَسَنَةٌ. He says, within your intimacy is hasanah. Not that just like you sit here with your spouse and whatnot, but the fact that you're with your spouse and being intimate with your spouse is ibadah. Just like you read in the Quran, just like you're praying, just like you're doing qiyam, just like you're fasting, being intimate with one's spouse is ibadah. And then the Sahaba, they said, Ya Rasulullah, how can it be? A Muslim is enjoying himself, and then the fact that he's enjoying himself, it's been written in his book of deeds as ibadah. And then the Prophet said, yes, yes. If he was to do it in haram, would he be getting a sin? The Sahaba, they said yes. And then the Prophet said, likewise, if he was to do it in halal, he will be getting good deeds. Just like this. That's who's going to be my wife tonight. You can never be my wife, but I'm going to pick on you. Idris, can you be my wife? Just it's all right. It's all right, man. It's all right. Hijab. Yeah, hijab. I'm going to show you how it is ibadah. How to do ibadah with your spouse. So, you just got married. This is how it turns to ibadah. It's all right, buddy. It's all right, man. You can never be. It's funny, huh? You just got married. And you come to see your spouse for the first time. Here's the sunnah. You're married, right? Okay, so this is very good, actually. So for the very first time, you just saw your wife and she's there, so I'm come to see you, like you're my wife, right? And then you're all, blushing and everything, right? And then here's the sunnah. Get me some water. Give me some water, man. Give me some water. Right? So this is what the Prophet did. Very first thing. You go and then you put your hand. This is the sunnah, and then it becomes ibadah on the forehead. And then you recite the dua of the Prophet ﷺ. Allahumma inni as'aluka khayraha wa khayra ma jabalta alayhi wa a'udhu bika min sharriha wa sharri ma jabalta alayhi. Oh Allah, I ask you for her good, and I seek refuge in you from her evil. This is a hadith. It's in Bukhari. It's also in the book, The Fortress of the Muslim. So you make that dua, right? And then she's all blushing and smiling and everything. And then you go get her some cup of milk, like a glass of milk. And then you take the glass of milk and then you say Bismillah, and then you drink Bismillah. And then you say Bismillah. Okay? And then you take a piece of date, you eat like a half, and you say, you can do that. Sunnah, I'm telling you, this is sunnah. You don't want it to your pockets, you say, I don't care, whatever, I don't care. You say whatever you want to say, man. I don't care. I'm telling you, this is sunnah. It's up to you. You don't like it, it's your business. I'm telling you, this is the Prophet ﷺ did. So you eat, and then what do you do after that? You go pray to rak'ah together. Right? So you pray behind me, and I pray to rak'ah together. You don't have to recite Baqarah. You don't have to recite Al-Imran. You just, إِنَّا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرَ. Something quick. And then you're done. And then you come back, right? And you try to break the ice by talking. This is all ibadah. Everything now, the malaika, from the right side, they're all writing it as, hasanat, 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 hasanat. And then you just talk. And you say, Assalamu alaikum, you go, make the intention to pray Qiyam al-Layl together, inshallah ta'ala. It's ibadah, right? My wife. This is why the Prophet ﷺ says in Sahih Muslim, وَفِي بُضْعِ أَحَدِكُمْ حَسَنًا. Even in the fact that you are intimate with your spouse, it's been written to you as a hasanah. So what are some of the ingredients of a successful marriage, ladies and gentlemen? I'd like you to maybe take some notes. If you don't want to take notes, then make sure you buy the DVDs, inshallah ta'ala, because there's so many points. I'm going to give you points. I don't expect you to remember all of them, but at least do get some, buy the DVD and then try to learn from these pointers, inshallah ta'ala, on how to improve your life with your spouses. I know I have given this so many times before, but that was like first edition, second edition. Today is the 10th edition, the latest and greatest in all for you, inshallah ta'ala. First and foremost, the very, first pointer, bismillah, on how to increase love amongst your spouses. And I love this very, the first point is patience. Patience is required. Patience is number one. You need patience, especially in the first year of marriage. Why in the first year of marriage? Because this is when you get to know one another. You get to know one another. You know the differences. Because before cha-cha, what it was you and her talking on the phone, and you sleeping on the phone when talking to her until 2 o'clock in the morning. Right? You're just talking on the phone. But now you're living with her. Right? You like the toilet paper up. She likes it low. You're not going to divorce her for that. You get to know one another. You need patience, especially in the first year of marriage. I shared this story with some of my students, and I'm going to share it with you as well. Some of you may have heard this. And this has happened to me when I was in Dubai. Some craziness. This lady, Miskina, she came to her dad with all marks all over her body. And she says, Dad, this guy that I'm married to is an animal. Hayawan. Is an animal. Every time we have a conflict, he comes and he bites me. He bites his wife. So we go to see this guy. What's wrong with you, man? He says, Allah has told me to bite her. I'm biting her. I said, please tell me. I want to bite my wife too. Tell me what it is. It is in the Quran. He said, yeah, show me. In the Quran, show me. No patience. He just know whenever they're not. He goes, bite her. So show me, in the Quran, tell me what it is. He says, yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاللَّاتِ تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنَّ فَعُضُّهُنَّ. And those that you fear rebellion from, bite them. عُضُّهُنَّ. عُضُّهُنَّ. Says, لا يا أنت. Oh, you are really hayawan. Allah did not say فَعُضُّهُنَّ. Allah never said عُضُّهُنَّ. Allah says عِضُّهُنَّ. You see, the Arabic is so beautiful. One accent makes like a whole big difference. عُضُّهُنَّ in Arabic means bite. عِضُّهُنَّ means give them admonition. Talk to them. The guy misread it. He read so every time there's a problem in his wife, let me do something. I says, Wallahi, you man. Patience. Patience is extremely important, like I said, for the successful marriage. Don't be stubborn if you want your marriage to be successful. Stubbornness kills marriage. Yeah, show him who's the man. Show him who's the woman. Shaitan is coming and whispering and whatnot. It just will kill your marriage. Do not be stubborn if you want your marriage to succeed. In fact, the latest I've heard, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, even Shaykh Sudais, he came up and gave a khutbah when he heard this news. In Mecca, during Tawaf, a guy divorced his wife. You know how he divorced her? They were doing Tawaf and he says, we did 5 turns, 5 circuits. She says, la, we only did 4. He said, la, we did 5. She says, la, wallah, we did 4. I told you I did 5. He said, I counted them, they did 4. La, wallah, 5 or 4. You're taliq. Talaq. You're divorced. Just because 5, 4, yeah, Sheikh, no, okay, we did 7. It's okay, 7. Just keep your husband. And Shaykh Sudais, when he heard this, he changed the Friday khutbah, and he talked about this, the relationship between husbands and wives. And I was so alarmed when I heard about the divorce rate in the UK. It's so scary. It's so scary. With sisters with hijab, not even hijab, niqab, and brothers with long beards and stuff, but, and the kids. And then they wind up being divorced. I'm trying to study these cases and just to understand why is it happening. I know it's happening in the UK, I mean in Canada and the US and other countries, but it's so scary here in UK for some reason. I don't know why. Don't be stubborn. Stubbornness will kill your marriage. Understand your spouse's love languages. There's an amazing book called The 5 Languages. Anybody heard or read this book, The 5 Languages of Love? Very few people. All right. 5 Languages of Love. It's an amazing book. Go and read it. It talks about the love language of your spouse. We all have different, languages. These 5 languages are words of affirmation. What is words of affirmation? Maybe you have to understand your spouse's love language. Maybe your spouse is one of those that likes words of affirmation, like support, like whenever he or she does something, she likes to hear, Jazakallah khair, mashallah, you look great today. Words of affirmation. We have a problem, we husbands, and I admit, saying that word. You know that word? Abse mahabbat kartahu. Something like that. I love, it's not coming out. It doesn't want to come out. We men have this problem. We don't say it loud, right? It's not coming out. You. I love you. We don't. Maybe your spouse is one of those that likes these, words of affirmation. Beautiful words, kind words. And we'll talk about that as well, inshaAllah ta'ala. Quality of time is another love language. Quality of time is, maybe your spouse is one of those that just like and value the time that you spend with him or her. She does not want, all the money that you give her. She doesn't want all the flowers and whatnot. What she wants is actually maybe your time. She does not value other things that you've done for her. Maybe she only thinks about, or he only thinks about, how much time you've spent with me. Maybe this is how he speaks or how she speaks. This is something that you need to understand so that you can maybe touch on those. Or receiving gifts is another love language. Maybe your spouse is one of those that just value what you give him or her. This is how he knows that you love him, by how much you give him or by how much you give her. When she says, I want to go shopping, and if you say no, she says, oh, you don't love me. And she does like this, Pakistani way. Like, you don't love me. Say, I love you. Well, I want to go shopping. No. Why you do this? It's just, I told you I'm half Pakistani. I didn't tell you that. Yeah, I'm half Pakistani. Half Arabian, half Pakistani. Physical touches. Physical touch is very, very important. I will talk about it as well, inshaAllah ta'ala, with one of the ingredients. Maybe your spouse is one of those that like to be touched, that like to be, caressed and whatnot. So try to find out the love language of your spouse. It will help increase love amongst you, between you and your spouse, inshaAllah ta'ala. Warm greetings, another ingredient that will help you, inshaAllah ta'ala, increase love amongst you, is warm greetings. When you come, as the Prophet ﷺ, whenever he used to come home, he would say, Assalamu alaikum wa Aisha, Assalamu alaikum, kayfa halukum? Right? Kia hal hai? Something like that. How are you? Iskawaran in Somalia. Iskawaran, I think it's Kawaran. Yeah. Kayfa halukum? How are you? Assalamu alaikum. And then it is very nice if you can couple this Assalamu alaikum with some hugs and touches. Because they said, the experts, not me, experts say for a woman to feel secure, she has to be touched 33 times a day. I didn't say that. They said 33 times, and don't do like I did with my wife. I said, come here, honey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 33. You're done for the day. It does not work like that. I'll tell you how it works. Brother Buna, you're my second wife. Come here. I'm just gonna show you, and this, I may get fired from Al-Maghrib by showing you this, by the way, but I don't care. Because you need to learn how to touch your spouses. Okay, husbands, this is how you're gonna touch your spouse, inshallah ta'ala.
We will.
It's Iron Man.
So this is just the first day, so We're all on first base.
So let's say you're at work. You're at work, right? You come back from work. She's cooking. Cook. Yeah. So you come from work. Watch. You come from work. It's where you touch. Assalamu alaikum. She's cooking. And then, Assalamu alaikum, honey. Right here. Assalamu alaikum, and use this, right? How are you? And you touch here, right between the ears, right? And here, right here. We don't feel nothing, but they feel something. So you just touch right here, right? Number one. Number two, go ahead, keep on cooking. Cook. So you come from work and then you come in, you're tired. Assalamu alaikum, honey, how are you? And right here, right here. Right here. And don't look, don't say excuse me. I mean, just like, how are you, honey? Had a good day? Something just like that. It's like hugs, touches, coupled with salam, greeting, warm greetings, assalamu alaikum. And Umar ibn Khattab said something really nice. Umar ibn Khattab, because I heard this from people coming as a marriage officer, wanting to divorce. Not only divorce, but they were fighting. Why? Because the husband comes home and then he says, Assalamu alaikum, right? And the wife, she didn't hear salam, and then she didn't reply, no salam, and then he goes, and they start a fight. I said salam, you didn't reply salam, and then she says, no, I didn't hear you. And he says, no, you heard me, but you didn't want to reply salam. And back and forth, and then they get into a fight for something so trivial. So what happens is, Umar ibn Khattab says, فَإِذَا سَلَّمْتُمْ فَأَسْمِعُوا. Umar ibn Khattab says, when you say salam, let people hear you. Don't just come home and say, of course he didn't hear you. Well, he didn't hear it. But say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, right? Let her hear you, inshallah ta'ala. So, remember, greetings, and couple those greetings with what? With touches and hugs. Here's another ingredient, ladies and gentlemen. Brothers, you need to listen to this. And sisters, please don't do that. Never compare your spouse to somebody else. Don't marry her, cha-cha, and say, oh, my mother cooks like this. My mother does this like that. My mother is always this like that. My mother, I did not marry your mother. I married you. And then, oh my, and then she goes, or maybe she's comparing you to her brother or something. Why you do this? Look, mashallah, your brother, the way he treats his wife. Your brother, the way he talks to his wife. And why? Look at your friend, the way he does this. What message are you sending to your husband right there? You're not pleased with him. You're looking at his brother. You're looking at his friend. But what? But you're maybe not valuing what you have. So this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, never compare each other to one another. Make sure that you value what you have. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he says in the Quran, الطيبون للطيبات, good men are for good women. والخبيثون للخبيثات, and then evil women are for evil men, or evil men are for evil women. So inshallah ta'ala, try to value what you have, and what you have is a lot. Another ingredient that will, insha'Allah ta'ala, increase love amongst you is, remember, this is for the brothers, remember their jealousy. It's normal. This is how Allah Azza wa Jalla created them. He created them being like that. SubhanAllah. Aisha used to be jealous. It's all right. It's called protective jealousy. The Prophet went out at night one night. He just went out. She thought of what? She thought of, it's my night. Where is he going? Where is he going? He's not supposed to go and visit her. She's talking about the other wife. And then she followed him. And then in the middle of the night, in the dark, and then he's walking, and then he felt something behind him, right? So he's walking, and where did he go, alayhi salatu wasalam? He went to the graveyard. He went to the graveyard. So as Aisha, she saw the Prophet going to the graveyard, she came out, and she left. But the Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, followed her back. And then she was wearing something, in the dark, and then she was wearing abaya black. He couldn't really, but he knew it was her. So, and then as he was speeding up, she started rushing too. And he was rushing up, and then she was rushing too. And then she went home, and then what did she do? Aisha. She went home, and then she covered herself. And then, just like, I'm sleeping, I didn't follow you. You're trying to fool Rasulullah. You're trying to fool Rasulullah. And then the Prophet says, Aisha, what were you? No. Awa ataka shaytanik? Did your shaitan come to you again? Did your shaitan come to you again? Yani the whispers of the shaitan. She got jealous. Radiallahu anha wa just like every woman. And so you have to understand the fact that, they get jealous. So it's all right. Be cool. One true story that happened, and brothers, please be careful with this. Some guys went, and they were invited for dinner. And then when they left after dinner, they started making dua for the brother. And it was actually his wife who cooked, but they started making dua for the brother. Jazakallah khair, may Allah bless you with hul ayn in Jannah. May Allah bless you. And the sister, she's just listening. The wife is listening. She's the one who cooked, but they're making dua for him, for the husband. May Allah bless you with hul ayn. There's women from Jannah. May Allah bless you with hul ayn. May Allah bless you with hul ayn. And then a month later, they came back again for dinner. You know what happened? So they're waiting for dinner. And they kept on waiting for dinner. Ya mara, when dinner. Then she sent them some dates and water. So they ate dates and water, and they're waiting. Where's the dinner? Hul ayn is cooking it. Just wait, she's cooking. When you go and your brother invites you, don't make dua for him for him. Hul ayn. You go to his other say, may Allah give you. Pray together, another ingredient. Pray together. Play together. Pray together and play together. And this is how the Prophet ﷺ used to do. Wouldn't you be happy when you wake up your husband or your wife for Qiyam al-Layl and say, honey, come on, let's go. This is Allah Azza wa Jal coming down. This is the best time to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's go and do some, pray to rak'ah together. The Prophet ﷺ says, listen to this hadith, ladies and gentlemen, please. The Prophet said, Allah Almighty, He smiles. And don't visualize how He smiles. He smiles in a way that befits His majesty. Allah yadhak, yabtasim. From a man, a spouse who wakes his spouse up or her spouse up, a wife who wakes her husband up in the middle of the night, and she tells him, wake up, let's go pray together. And the husband is not waking up, so she takes some water, and then she takes some, like water like this, and she starts splashing it on. Come on, Habibi, come on, Mary Jam, or Mary Jan, come on, and then the husband is all, yeah, this is beautiful. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala smiles in this act. When He says this, He smiles at it in a way that befits His majesty. This is reported by Bukhari. That's not me, it's Bukhari. And the Prophet ﷺ said so. Pray together and play together. What's wrong with you riding with your wife? Is there a problem with that, Shaykh? Is there a problem? Is there a problem, jogging with your wife? Playing together? Is there a problem, doing pillow fight with your wife? Is there a problem with that? You got a problem with that? Doing pillow fight with your wife? Pillow, pop, pop, pop. The Prophet used to do that. The Prophet used to do that. I swear by Allah that the Prophet used to do that. Not pillow fights. From the same vessel, they're taking a bath, and then comes the Prophet and Aisha, and then Aisha, she splashed some water on the Prophet, and then the Prophet splashed back some water there, and then they're playing with water, pump, and then they're playing water. Rasulullah and Aisha playing together, running together, racing together, play together, and pray together. If you want, inshaAllah ta'ala, to have a successful marriage. Break the routine. This is very important, guys. Break the routine. Ingredient. Break the routine. The same thing, always and always and always, over and over again. You come home, salam alaikum, salam. Dinner's ready, dinner's ready. You eat dinner, how are you? I'm fine. Kids went to school, yes, they went to school. Bills to pay, here, bills to pay. Everything fine, everything fine. Let's go sleep, let's go sleep. Salam alaikum, salam. What's so fun about this life, man? Break the routine, sisters, break the routine. And I said this and I'm going to say it again. I said it in some of my seminars and I'm not shy to say it again. Some of you might say, ooh, I don't care. Sisters, break that routine too and go to some place called Victoria's Secrets. And dress up for your husbands. Because I don't want your husband, I don't care. I don't want your husbands to come to me and say, Sheikh, I go outside, I see naked women. I go home, I see abaya at home. I don't want your husband to come to me complaining about your wives and complaining about you. Because you wear abaya outside and he comes home and he says abaya and hijab and you smell biryani. Cooking all day. And he wants to see something beautiful and then he comes, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. Okay honey, sit there and I will bring you some. Man, it's not fun. I'm serious. If you go to Saudi Arabia, by the way, they've got the best lingeries in the world. And all these customers, if you go on them, all the mashayikh, they go and they shop. For their wives, halalan tayyiban mubarakan fih. Wallahi, it's halal. For your husbands, inshallah ta'ala. Dress up for your husbands. And brothers, dress up for your wives too, man. I went to see this brother one time, and he was, this Paki man, he's wearing he's wearing, I love Pakistan, man. So he's wearing his sharwal, not only the qamis, just sharwal. And then this sleeveless thing and the hair is coming out everywhere. Yeah. Hair is coming out everywhere. His hair, like that hair. And then, hey, brother, come, brother. And I said, wait, is there somebody home? He says, no, nobody, just my wife, just my wife. Start wearing hair everywhere. Here's the evidence. Here's the evidence. Ibn Abbas, he was about to go and meet his wife. So he took like a brush and he started like combing his hair. And then they came to him and said, Ibn Abbas, wallahi, we're not going to leave you until you give us evidence from the Quran that you have to look beautiful for your wife. He says, I have the evidence from the Quran. I have the evidence from the Quran. وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. And women have the same right as that of men. She likes to see me beautiful. I like to see her beautiful too. Right? When I come home, I like to see her beautiful. She likes to see me beautiful too. So this is from the Quran. She's got the same right as me. So this is why I'm dressing up for my wife. Break the routine, my brothers and sisters. Am I? How much time? Huh? No. Surprise each other. Quickly, inshallah ta'ala. Surprise each other. Surprise each other like what? An example. I mean, you guys could think of anything. You're driving back home and then you give it a call. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, honey, yes. Pack up your bags. Pack up your... What did I do? Why are you sending me home? No. Pack up your bags. I've got 2 tickets trip for Umrah together. Ooh. Surprise each other. Love notes, stickers and stuff like that. Try to surprise each other just so that you can spice up your life, my brothers and sisters. I heard this beautiful saying, and I'm going to say it inshallah ta'ala, oh my wife, I want to change the alphabet. Why do you want to change the alphabet? Because I don't like the order of the words in the alphabet. I like to put you and I together. Use beautiful names to call each other. The sunnah from the Prophet ﷺ. Call each other, you and I come close together, like you and I. You looking at, what did he say? What did he say? You, I together. I want to make the I close to, you close to I, or I close to you. You understand now? beautiful names. Call each other with beautiful names. If he likes to be called the boss, call him Superman, whatever. If she likes to be called honey, call her honey. Call her anything she likes. Fulan, Ammar, this is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. No yo, you don't call him yo, or call her yo, man. I know some husbands who call their wives, hey man. That's not good, man. Maybe you married the wrong man. I don't know. Kind words, quickly inshallah ta'ala. Kind words from time to time. Na'am, sadaqah, as the Prophet ﷺ, there was this Arabic woman whose husband is a farmer, and then he loved this donkey. He loved his donkey so much. One day he came in home, he was miskin, very sad, and then the woman, oh honey, what's wrong? My donkey died. Oh honey, I'm sorry, but you're better than 100 donkeys. You don't get it, guys, huh? This is the Arabic joke, man, and you don't get it. Say something good or be quiet. That's what I'm trying to say. Kind words, sadaqah, charity. Say something nice to your spouse, inshallah ta'ala, because this is sadaqah, as the Prophet ﷺ says. Pay attention to her mood. This is to your spouse's mood, to your wife's mood. Pay attention to her mood, especially during her menses, or maybe if she's pregnant. This is very also important. And you will understand. Sometimes, they act, interestingly, maybe just weird, but maybe she's going through her menses and she's coming and asking you, do you still love me? I just told you that yesterday, but do you really still love me? Why don't you tell that to me no more? So what do I do now? Here's the trick. What I did was I taped myself saying, I love you. And every time she comes, do you still love me? Here it is. And I play, and it just say, I love you. It's just me, I don't know. Pay attention to their mood, especially during that period or during the pregnancy. Thank each other. Spend time out with each other. These are all amazing pointers that will, inshallah ta'ala, increase love amongst you. Spend time out together with your spouse. And my brothers and sisters, I'm going to just say a couple more things. Give your husbands, give your wives time out. Very important, because you're the man. You're the man. Give her time out. What do you mean time out? One day you take care of the kids, and then you just, where's mom? Mom, she's time out. What do you mean time out? She needs time to recharge. She needs time by herself. In fact, some of you may know, I set my wife out for 1 month. I want to think about it. I sent her out to her family back in Morocco for 1 month, and I'm taking care of my kids by myself. Oh, so you may be saying, where are your kids, Sheikh? They're in Canada. And I just told them I'm going to buy pizza, I'll be right back. Sometimes you need to give time for your wife, really. So I'm serious. Yes, I did send her out for 1 month, but why? She needs to recharge, and I'm taking care of the kids. Do that, inshallah. I'm just saying, give your wife a time out. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, contemplate the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Go and read books about the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ and see how the Prophet used to treat his wife, Aisha, how he used to treat, Khadija and whatnot. He was so romantic, alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet, our Prophet, he was a very romantic man, alayhi salatu wasalam. He would bring a piece of meat, he would have a bite, and then he will give Aisha, oh Aisha, please have a bite. He would bring a cup of water, he would drink from it, and then he would give Aisha, please drink, and then she would drink from exactly the same spot. Or she would drink, and then he would take the cup, and then he would turn it exactly from the same spot she drank, and he would drink from it, alayhi salatu wasalam. He would play with her. He would hug her. In fact, the Prophet used to love doing something amazing. He would go on her lap and she would play with his hair. Isn't that beautiful? He would go on her lap and she would play with his, and he would, in fact, the Prophet, ﷺ, that's the way he died. He died on the laps of Aisha. On her laps, and she was playing with his hair, and she was, and he was sweating. And she had a piece of cloth, and she used to, wipe the sweat off of the forehead of the Prophet ﷺ, hugging him, hugging her. Contemplate the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. Hopefully, insha'Allah ta'ala, this will help us all together to have a very successful marriage, insha'Allah ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you, bless your spouses, bless your children, bless your husbands and bless your wives, brothers and sisters. We don't just go today and say, oh, it was nice, jazakallah khair, thank you very much. And then I would like you all to walk the talk. I know maybe after this, all the flower shops will be so packed up. We don't want just to give her flowers, say, honey, it was on sale. I thought about you today. Don't do that. Try to do something for your spouse tonight, inshallah ta'ala. Try to do something for your spouse tonight. Maybe cook for her or for him, or maybe, in it, inshallah ta'ala. Time out. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. Jazakum Allah khair. Jazakum Allah khair. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.